friends, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. I have got quite a story time for you. And there are so many elements to this, I don't even know where to start. But I guess I will start with, if you watched my other video called My Party, where I talked about my birthday. There's somebody walking. If you watched my other video, My Party, where I talked about my birthday, I talked about how I tried not to celebrate, especially when I was out on the streets, because every time I did, it was met with great strife. Well, the great strife came this year, the day before my birthday, probably just because I said that. So what happened is I came out of the gym and my car would not start. And I immediately panicked. And because I had a falling down or a falling apart Mercedes for many, many years, and everything is extremely expensive to fix on the car, and it was just a lot, I immediately thought that the car was done. Like, I just figured there's nothing I can do. It's over. And I started to panic. And then as I started to panic, I thought it might just be the battery. So sorry. So I started like not running, but frantically making my way through the parking lots to see if I could find someone with a pair of jumper cables. And as it turned out, the only person with a pair of jumper cables was a guy who was trying to get somebody to jump his car. And he didn't speak very much English, but he had Google Translate. And he told me that I could use his jumper cables if I could give him a charge afterwards. And so I said, that's great. And I took his jumper cables and I set off to try and find somebody who would charge it. I ran back towards my car and there was a guy pulling in to the parking lot and he had all his windows down. And I asked him, like, could he help me charge my car? And when he looked at me, he had the biggest, brightest smile. His eyes were sparkling and he had like a ching, like his teeth were like ching. That is the energy that this guy was giving off. And he's like, of course, sweetheart, anything you need. And that was the start of the day. Okay, so this guy proceeds to, and he helps me the whole rest of the entire day. And this guy is a starseed. And every single time anybody comes to my aid in a time like this, especially somebody that I'm going to spend like an extended amount of time with. And for me, an extended amount of time is more than a few minutes. It's always giving starseed energy. And this guy was no exception. Everything he was talking about, when he pulled up and he had the ching on his face and everything, that was his energy, right? Then he pulled around and could come towards my car to charge it up. And he's like, but I'm going to tell you one thing. I am sick of the liars and I am sick of the cheaters. And if you're going to lie to me or try to cheat me or try and take from me, I am not going to help you. And I was like, word, bro. I didn't know where the energy was coming from, but I could sense that it was like maybe a collective energy. And I had just dropped my video about some lying and cheating people. Which I thought was really funny. And so I was like, I match your energy. I see you and we will raise each other into the light, my friend. It's going to be fine. But I love that. Like, and he is a very like a boisterous, very loud person. And so he was like barreling the whole strip mall could hear this. And I was just right there with him. That was the best part. And so he tries to help me, but the car will not start. It has some, what's it called? I don't know. I can't even get into that part. There are layers, but the car did not start. So the charge did not work. And then I started to panic because I thought that it was going to be a much bigger issue. There is just so much to this story that I don't know how I can get it all into. I want to consolidate the whole thing into one little short thing. But boy, is there a lot to this story. Just because the whole day. What is the point? The point is, every single time. Now, I've already told you that the God is always constantly messing with me, at least. And every time I mention it in a public way, he will mess with me in a big way to say, yeah, I was the one that was messing with you. And now look, just like when I said something before, you can read about it in my book, and my other Mazda was crashed into. It happens every time, and I fully expected for this to happen. because it just happens every time. Because he's like, yes, I was fucking with you, and now I'm fucking with you again, and I'm going to make it so big that you're going to know that it was me this time, and then you should know that it was me last time. I do. It's great. Thank you. That's the part that really makes me laugh about the whole thing, just because, like, okay, yeah. And I will likely, I'm not even going to get into it, but just, I am this type of person, and this is this type of God. Do you know what I'm saying? So that is that. I actually have to wait until later because I don't have my phone charged, and that's part of the story, and I cannot keep filming these videos. Okay, talk to you later. Love you. Hello, friends. How are you this evening? I thought I would come to you this evening. I did it again. I moved the camera. I need a tripod. I thought I would come to you once again this evening to talk about the second element of yesterday's trauma. As you know, as I mentioned before, my car would not start, and I tried to charge the battery. I tried to jump the car and everything, and it still wouldn't start. At this point, I really did start to panic, and I thought that it was over because I was just so used to having a very expensive car that everybody was telling me was too expensive to fix. And so something told me to call the people in my family. Now, if you know me and if you've been paying attention, that is not something that I would do. That is not my personality, but I felt compelled to do so. I forgot that it was even my birthday today. And I just felt compelled to go down the list of contacts and call everybody on the list. Partially, I don't know why, but like, I just felt like I needed to. And the one person that I definitely did not want to call was my mother, because I really don't want to talk to her, and she doesn't help me anyway. But the Spirit told me to do so. And the Spirit also compels me to continue to give her chances to do the right thing. And you will be watching when she doesn't. And would you believe that everybody in my family, except for this woman, called me back right away? And every single one of them offered to help me. She still has not answered the phone. And this would be the 4th time she's done this. And if I need something again next time, I'm going to call her motherfucking ass and see if she still fails. And I just want to take this moment to make an addendum to the statement that I made in one of my videos. I got really mad one time when one of her friends started watching me on YouTube, and I kind of blew up at everybody, and I shouldn't have blown up at everybody because of the energy that I have for this woman. I really didn't even have any reason to blow up at her friend. It's just anything that's attached to her. And I will make a note, and I made a note of this in my book. None of these people who contacted me yesterday and helped me out speak to her. Nobody in the whole family, none of her daughters, she has 2 daughters, neither of them speak to her. And this is exactly why. And that was really fascinating to me, but it really helped me out because I did make a video where I said that I felt like nobody cared. And at least everybody responded to me and everybody offered to help me. I'm very grateful for that. In the end, I had to call a locksmith to reset the ignition thing, and the guy didn't even do anything, which is really strange. He just came and charged me $80. And I don't know why I do know the Spirit is the one who messed with the car. God is the one who messed with the car because he's always doing that. And it was just enough time for me to reconnect with some of my family the day before my birthday. I got to talk to my cousin, who I haven't talked to in ages, who is amazing. She's younger than me. But she's a Virgo too. Her birthday is in September, and I haven't spoken to her in a really long time. That was really cool. I got to talk to my aunt, and so that was really nice. And once again, I got confirmation that my mother is just really an evil wench. And that is another element, and there is still more to come. Ooh. Hello friends, how are you today? I'm here with another very interesting update on my birthday. Okay, this happens to me every year and I forget about it every single year. I was born on September, I've done it again with the camera. I do this every single year and I forget every single year. I was born on September 21st, but I was born very late at night. There was only a couple hours left in the day when I was born. And every single year on my birthday, I kind of just feel like, whatever. And then as the day goes on and the night starts to fall, that's when I start to feel like it's my birthday. And I'm not gonna lie to you, today I feel more like birthday vibes, and this happens every year. And I think it's because I was born so late at night. And I'm also born on the cusp, and I got a lot of Libra. Like I said before, I have a fifth house stellium in Libra. Thank you. Anyway, no, but seriously, I feel like today is more my birthday than it was yesterday, and I've done this every single year. And the strange thing is, when I used to hang out with my grandmother on my birthday, because that was our tradition, was she and I would sneak and do whatever we wanted to do. Before, what is wrong with this camera? I feel like sometimes it's giving me lipstick. What the? This thing is really weird. We used to sneak and do whatever we wanted to do before everybody started messing with our energy. And so I always used to feel a little drab on the daytime. And I used to think it was because I wasn't a daytime person. I used to think it was because I'm a night person, but it's because I was born at night. And so the party doesn't really start until I was born. And then it carries on into day. So I feel more of a birthday vibe today than I did yesterday. Isn't that really interesting? But I bet you if you were born at night, you probably feel the same way. Maybe? If you do, comment below. But there is something to be said about this, because think about it. If you were born at like 11:30 or something, how much of that exact day is really your birthday? It's really like 30 minutes. So that's technically your birthday. But the day that you really are here to be celebrated is the next day. If you're born in the morning, that's one thing. But somebody born very, very late at night. Somebody comment, please, if you were born late at night. Do you feel more of birthday vibes on the next day? Because I do.